weekend?
Well, you know, we're different than high schools. We're different than the NFL. You know, high schools, they get a couple scrimmages in their camp. The NFL gets 4 preseason games. You know, we've been beating on the same body, the same guy, you know, for 3 weeks now. And, you know, we're ready to see somebody else. The grind of camp, you know, this is the excitement part of. You hear the band playing. You got students coming back on campus. So this is the exciting time for our players and us as coaches.
Of course, week.
Well, the big thing, like I said earlier, is that want to play to our standard, and what our standard is a standard of excellence. So I understand there's going to be mistakes in the first game, but you want them to go out. I want them to go out. We want them to go out. I hope we tackle well. I hope we play smart. We protect the ball. The little things like that, sound in the kicking game. You can lose more games, especially the first game of the year, by mistakes in the kicking game. So we've got to be sound in the kicking game. You know, I know we'll play hard. I know our effort will be great. I have no doubt about that. But, you know, the things, tackle well, you know, and protect the football is a good start in the first game.
Coach, this is your 3rd straight FCS opponent. Before that,
you know, I don't think so, Tom. I think probably the biggest thing is we got to make sure that we don't look at Savannah State's record last year and don't think that, you know, we're not going to get a great effort. We're not going to play. We're not playing the same team as last year. Savannah State is a much improved team. So to me, that's the we got to make sure as coaches that we're not you know, looking at this team and say they won 1 game last year. We just put our hats on and we'll come out with a W. So we'll grind this week. We'll coach them hard to make sure that, and that's why I keep saying it's about us. And next week when we play, you know, Minnesota, you know, we can't control how good or how well Minnesota's going to play. All we can control is us, and that's the bottom line. That's our main focus this week, is for us to get better and continue to improve, and then go out there Saturday against Savannah State and play how you've been coached.
You've got several guys that will be playing their first game here at Middle.
Well, you know, all our new guys, the young guys or first-year guys that will be playing is you know, to play how you've practiced. And they should, everybody, the whole team, but especially those new guys, they ought to be confident. They've done it out on the practice field through spring practice. Most of those guys went through spring practice as well as this camp here in August. So I don't think there'll be a deer in the headlight. I don't think they'll have big eyes out there. I'm sure they'll be a little jittery, a little excited. I hope they are. I know I will be. So. But just to go out and play, like I said, like you've been coached, and go out and play fast and play with confidence.
You touched on Savannah State's past record.
Maybe a little bit of being the season opener there, that I know we're excited to play. Like I said, we're excited to hit somebody that we don't know, that doesn't have the same, that doesn't sit next to us in our locker room. So we're excited about that. But the big thing is you know, this team hasn't done anything yet. This team hasn't won 1 game. This team hasn't lost any games. So we're going to, this is where we talk about all the time, you know, what's our identity going to be? You know, what's this team going to be about? And hopefully we forged that over the summer and August camp, that I've got a pretty good idea. I know what we're going to be, what kind of team we'll be, what our identity will be. And then we get out there, you know, Saturday night, we got to go out and prove it and show it. But, you know, I just think that if you worry about yourself, if you just try to play the best you can individually and collectively and do your assignment and play with phenomenal and relentless effort, then, you know, you don't have to worry about the opponent. You play your game. You do your thing. And usually if you play at a high level and you dominate your opponent individually, you know, then you have team success collectively.
Can you give an update on Reggie Watley? Will he be able to play either running back or?
I'm hopeful. He's started easing back in practice here in the last week. I'm hopeful he will be. We don't practice today, so I think tomorrow and Wednesday will be a key for Reggie, but he started to ease back in there a little bit.
Have you named a starter at quarterback?
Yes, but I've talked to our quarterbacks about it, and we'll probably those guys know, and I'll probably make that decision here after I want to talk to our whole team first. I'd rather tell our team first, before I announce it to the media. But I've talked to the quarterbacks. I've told them, who's 1, who's 2, who's 3, and so give me another day on that so I can tell our team first.
You have a plan on Saturday on how many?
I want to win. I'm not interested in making sure so-and-so gets so many snaps or all that. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win this game. That's the bottom line. And, if we're fortunate enough we can play some other guys at other positions, we'll do that. But the bottom line is we're going out there focused that we've got to win. And if you're a starter, you got to play, 80 snaps, 90 snaps, whatever it is, to win this game.
You've changed some things on your offense in game 1.
Protect the ball. Number 1, protect the ball, run and manage the offense, be a great communicator in getting plays communicated to the offensive line and to the receivers. But the bottom line is just to protect the ball. You don't have to do anything out of character. We've got a lot of good players around you, and just run and manage the offense.
You kind of touched on, you guys did some research. Is it more difficult to get information or track down information on a team like Savannah State than, say, some of these other, Minnesota the next week?
Yeah, it is because, and I've been in the MEAC. I started coaching at Bethune-Cookman as my first job, and, the bigger schools, they've got, 10 and 15 SIDs, and they've got different websites, and they've got all kind of, people covering them, reporting, writing articles after every practice. So, at Savannah State, they don't have the luxury of having, 10 or 12 SIDs and, websites, that they can promote. But so it's been a little bit different from that standpoint, but you read the papers and you try to gather as much information as you can. But it's been, if we were opening up with, Clemson, you could get, all the information you needed.
Coach,
Yes.
yeah.
No, I haven't told those guys anything different than I ever told Logan. I told Logan when he first got here, and I told Logan, last year, before the last game, is a constant reminder that to protect the ball. And, we didn't give Logan any more freedom than we'll give our quarterbacks this year. The number 1 job for a quarterback is to protect the ball and to move the offense, to get first downs. And first downs ultimately turn into touchdowns. So that's the most important thing that the quarterback can do. And I don't care if it's in the NFL or high school or college. If you can't protect the ball, you're going to have a hard time winning games.
You said you didn't want to name a starter.
The same thing. I went in with some objectives that I really critically evaluated them on, and one was turnovers, one was negative plays, one was, their leadership, then the other in the scrimmages, when you were in there, did you score? So those were the main things. I kept, statistics there after every practice on, completions, percentage, drops that they had, carrying out their fakes, little things. They were under a microscope for 3 weeks. I think, I hate to say this, but I think I've done a great job I think I've done a great job of not looking at this thing, whatever that saying is, tinted glasses. Probably been harder on Brent in my evaluation than if his last name was Smith, just because I didn't want to give the appearance to our team that he was getting any special treatment, because he's not and he didn't. Brent is a great teammate. He's a great leader, and he's fit in with this team. And I talked to other players on this team more than I talked to him, but I'm glad he's here, and it's been fun, it's been enjoyable, but I've tried to be cognizant of me to make sure I'm not giving the impression that he's gotten anything special, because he hasn't.
First game's all exciting, it's been a long camp, we've been banging up on each other. I'm tired of going against Lalo, tired of going against these guys. I'm ready to see a new opponent. Offensively, we just want to be crisp, we want to be clean. In the past, we've kind of come out kind of sloppy in the first games. I know Coach Wade is just pushing in the offensive line to be clean, be crisp as we can. I know from the defensive side of the ball, we're more experienced, so I expect them to play a clean game and tackle well. Right, like I said, all three quarterbacks, bring something different to the table. We do have 3 new guys inside that we're trying to fill in, but they all, have good leadership, and I'm not really too concerned about who's going to be back there, because I feel really confident in our skilled players, our running backs, and I think that'll get us through the first couple games till the quarterbacks get fully adjusted. Just like Coach Stock said, every year is a different year. A couple years ago we went 2-10. The next year I'm sure everyone looked at us the same. We came out and won 8 games. It's a lot that can happen to a team in the offseason that can make them a lot better. So we just look at this team like, any other opponent. The way I want to look at every game is just a championship game, no matter if we're playing Savannah State or the Florida Gators. Whoever it is, I want to compete every week and practice like it's the championship game.
From what we've seen on film, they do have some athletic players. Their quarterback's returning. And really, we're going to approach this game like we always do with our same strategy. We'll always try to stop the run first, and that's always our main objective. And they are a spread team, so they're most likely going to throw the ball the majority of the game. So we'll be working on stopping the pass and defending over our heads the entire week. I still have the same approach as Coach Stock and Isiah. And plus, in a football season, it's one of the shortest seasons in all sports. We only play 12 games, while basketball played over 20 games. So you got to take every game seriously, no matter what. It doesn't matter how good your opponent was last year, especially the first game. Any team can make a turnaround at any time, so you'll never know who your opponent's going to be.